welcome, good morning, good afternoon, or maybe even good evening in whichever part of the world you are joining us from. My name is Deepakar Khemani and I am one of the co-founders of Bloom. On this 207th, on this 207th consecutive non-stop Sunday Bloom Talk Show, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all on this historic occasion. Every year, every month, every week, we are creating new records. Next Sunday, we will be completing 4 consecutive years. Come rain or shine, it is our duty to stand up and shine. We bring across people from across the world who have graced our platform, be it speakers, trainers, coaches, doctors, nurses, healers, athletes, you name it, and they have graced our platform. Another USP which I have been continuously announcing, and since Ram Prasad ji is here with us, we have people who have set foot on each and every continent of the world and have been showcased on our platform. Let us continue that series. Let us learn a little bit more. Let us talk about a different topic which we may or may not have talked about earlier or may have spoken about it in a different context. Today, we are talking about corporate wellness. What does corporate wellness mean? How does it affect the corporate in itself, the people who make up the corporate, and how we can get things done? With that, we have our guest, our very own Dr. Neeta Mhatre Mishra. If you have been a regular Bloom Talk show attendee, you will remember that she used to host our shows. She used to fill in when Prem Raj wasn't there or when Abhijit wasn't there. Today, she is on the other side. She will be answering questions, and I will be asking her all those questions along with Payal and Abhijit, who I'm sure will be joining us soon. So, let me not introduce her and let me ask her to introduce yourself. Dr. Neeta, please tell us a little bit about yourself, especially for the people who do not know you or may be watching and listening to you for the first time.
Fantastic. Thank you, first of all. And it's a very good and a very auspicious day for me for being here on the 207th Bloom Non-Stop Talk. First of all, with the numerology, again, it is number 9, which is supposed to be just going on, right? And it is also a very special day which talks on friendship. Friendship is never a conditional day. Friendship is just that 3 a.m. friend whom you want. And everyone really deserves to have those 3 a.m. friends. And I think there is where the journey of Bloom is. The Bloom is that 3 a.m. friend, because as you start the show, you say namaste to everyone, good evening, good morning, good night, and everything though that talks about Bloom being a friend, which is a 3 a.m. friend. So talking about me, few people who have been knowing and few people who have not been knowing me. And the best thing is I am working in the space with the behaviorals. For me, it is very important to be working in the space of behaviorals because I understand something will change inside me, myself, my mindset, and my behavior. Everything changes. And while this changes, bringing in wellness, bringing in mental health, bringing in all the aspects, all the dimensions of health is certainly very important. However, as humans, we all are running, and we run behind one thing which is very important is the money, the pesa. And the second thing which is we are running is the pet, which increases so much in size, apparently andar jata nahi hai. But then we still run, and then you realize that it was too much of running which you were doing for everyone, including your family members, including the society, including the community, including the organization. But somewhere you forget to take care of your own self. You forget to take care of your own wellness. And here is where the corporate wellness is also important. And post COVID, at least we have seen that the wellness is introduced in a lot of corporates because they
Mm.
have experienced that though we are 4.5 billion of us on this earth, but still there is no adequate wellness. And especially while talking
Mm.
about India, the percentage in India on wellness is just 15. And it is sad, it is really sad. And as I know, Deepak sir, you work into the space of finance, and I would think that you would also agree, when it comes to buying an insurance or when it comes to buying an health insurance, the first thing is, my company will take care, my company will give this. But what if I leave the organization today, and what
Mm.
if something goes wrong with me
Yes.
immediately next morning?
Yeah.
How much will the company take it, and how much will the company now take care of your family? So I
Yes.
think it is each and every person's individual responsibility to
Mm.
understand wellness. And of course, wellness is nothing to do with spa. It can
Mm.
have a quotient of spa, but it is a
Yes.
broader umbrella.
Yes.
So this
So
is
when, yeah,
brief
yeah,
about.
yeah, please complete, complete.
Yeah, this is in brief about me. Apart from
Yes.
that, I work in the space of LGBTQI, a guest faculty at TIS, a guest faculty at NIFT Fashion Technology. And while working in this space, I work in the space with emotional wellness. And all to bring
Mm.
emotional wellness is, how do I bring in confidence? How do I answer to people where
Mm.
I do not know what is the kind of fear, what are the kind of judgments? And
Mm.
very important is, where can I draw lines and very boldly tell ki no? Because right from childhood, this conditioning has been there in me that I'm not allowed to speak no. No
Mm.
is rude. No
Yeah.
is disrespectful. So coming into the space of emotional wellness for the young youths, that's what I've been doing. And now definitely in the corporates, I'm very happy that people have been encouraging wellness in a very holistic way.
Yeah. So again, last answer which you said, that wellness in a holistic way. So what does wellness for a corporate mean? Does it mean that the corporate should make money? Does it mean that the employees should be healthy so that the corporate can make money? Or, as I said, today is a lucky day, it is a very good day. Corporates and work like friends, work like family, so that it is a win for everybody. How would you categorize corporate wellness?
So what do I categorize corporate wellness is, A, that everything is interdependent on each other, whether it is the employee, whether it is the corporate, or whether it is the functioning of the corporate, including the code of conduct, everything is interdependent. If
Mm.
my employees are physically, mentally, socially fine,
Mm.
100% my organization is taking a good range which is related to money. So I
Mm.
know that I, as an organization, is able to gain good amount of money, or
Mm.
maybe at least the profits. Apart from the profits, the third thing which the organization is now seeing is, why are we seeing the iteration rate increasing?
Mm.
And when the iteration rates are increasing, everyone comes out and tells, it is so much stress.
Mm.
Stress is too much, we can't take it. So is it
Mm.
that I can't take the pressure, or is it something that is creating a pressure by myself, or
Mm.
is it my own self expectations, ki today I'm drawing a salary of say 1 lakh per month, and here my goal is to have 2 lakhs per month, so am
Mm.
I pushing it?
Yeah.
So here again is where we see that the entire corporate wellness, which is intertwined with each other and interdependent on each other, plays
Mm.
a role. So
Yes.
you cannot have just fingers and no telling that hand is not responsible. Your
Yeah.
entire hand is responsible for the fingers.
Mm. Now, you spoke about corporate taking care about its employees, employees working for the corporate. We saw that what happened in COVID.
Oh, yes.
A lot of big corporates really went out of the way and took care of their
Employees.
employees, Even if they did not have insurance, they saw to it that their medical bills are paid, and sometimes these bills went into lakhs. Clearly, when you have an employer like this, you will never want to leave that organization, because internally the feeling is that they took care of me when there was a need. However, we also know that there were a lot of small businesses who shut down during that time. These people did not have money even to take care of their family, forget the employees and the workers of their company. So, one, how does a company win over the trust of their employees, keep their employees happy, keep their employees well, and how can you help them?
So one very important thing is, while I said about the wellness, right? So wellness is just not anything to do only with insurance. Wellness is a broader umbrella which comprises of everything. Everything, the moment you enter the organization, the first thing is, are you really feeling responsible for that organization? If I want something from the organization, before even thinking about that finally what is in for me, I should also be ready. What am I ready to give? Am I ready to give my time? Am I ready to
Yes.
give my passion? Am I
Yes.
ready to also learn? If I just be a taker and not
Hmm.
be a giver in the
Hmm.
organization, probably the organization does not function like this. The
Hmm.
organization is taking care of you. Simultaneously, it becomes my responsibility to take care
Hmm.
of my organization, to take care of my team, to take
Hmm.
care of the well being of every person who is really associated with me. And while
Yes.
I talk about this, I bring in very small little thing which people might feel that it is so small, because I always write hashtag self-care. And when I
Hmm.
write hashtag self-care as an corporate employee or as an employee in the organization, it becomes
Yes.
important for me to know, is my employee
Hmm.
having adequate amount of sleep?
Yes.
While they come to the organization, how is their food habits? Because everyone is just going, taking coffee, coming back, taking coffee, coming back. Are they really eating well?
Yeah.
So for me, the sleep, the E is for my exercise. Lot of
Hmm.
corporates have now started that early in the morning they'll put up a nice Zumba audio or video. Everybody dances, or
Hmm.
sometimes they even laugh to the tunes. But I would try to bring it that, make it little more smaller. That in the lift you are there together. How about
Yes.
smiling at each other?
Yes.
We just walk through. We walk
Hmm.
in such a way that we do not know anyone.
Yes.
So I had a very recent example. I was going to an organization and I had to consecutively visit that organization for 10 days. And going to that organization consecutively for 10 days, everybody knew that I was going on the 20th floor.
Hmm.
And everybody also knew that I was coming on the third floor for the canteen. And while they are seeing that, none of the people, including the people from the organization whom I am training,
Hmm.
thought of having that smile.
Yes.
And when I asked them, ki, why don't you people smile?
Yes.
Some felt that people feel that while we smile at them or while we even address them, they feel that it is too rude that you are barging into my space.
Hmm.
Smiling is not barging into somebody's space.
Hmm.
Smiling is, in fact, creating that connect that you belong to my organization and you are
Hmm.
important for me.
Hmm.
So that is so important that while you exercise, have a small little exercise of that smile, which will allow people to connect, which will allow people to even collaborate.
Hmm.
Then the L for me in my self care again talks about having mindful light. Of course, now the rains are there. I cannot expect everyone to go out and have a sunlight. But how
Hmm.
open are we even to have that sunlight? All the
Yes.
offices, all the corporate organizations are completely glass shield.
Yes.
Come out from the AC, then you want to go out, you want to stand in that sunlight, but by the
Hmm.
time you take the sunlight, it is afternoon.
Hmm.
So, how much light are you really getting exposed to?
Hmm.
The F for me in the self care for the corporates stands for mindful eating, mindful food. And while mindful food is here, it's not only about what you eat, it is with whom you eat.
Hmm.
While you eat, there are people who will just come and talk hundred of problems. There are only problems and problems. They will not go beyond to look out for
Yes.
a solution.
Yes.
Or there would be some people who would just be Meena Kumaris. And they love being that. They love being in that space. So the self for corporate is this. While talking about the care, care is, please remember that our workplace should be clean and neat.
Hmm.
So while I come to my organization, while I come neatly dressed, the same is about my table. The same is about how do I take responsibility to clean my
Hmm.
space? How can
Yes.
I keep my space absolutely
Yeah.
spick and span?
Yeah.
Though we would be having help, but if
Yeah.
I am giving my work, my energy, this is also a part of wellness.
Hmm.
While talking about A, avoid anything which is negative. As I start my day, it is important what are my inputs. Maybe
Hmm.
I am going with someone, maybe I am tagging along with people. But while tagging
Yes.
along with people, what are the kind of conversations which I'm having? What
Hmm.
are the entire thing? Oh my God, now today again that boring day that we are going the same work. But in fact, we have to be so much in gratitude that at least the money is coming to my place. There are people who are not able to get any kind of job, irrespective to everything. So the A is avoid anything which is negative, anything which you feel is not good for your space. The R is routine. Have an amazing routine. And in that routine, do not forget the rest. Rest from talk, rest from digital, rest from all the negative self chatter. So this is very important. And E in the self care is please empathize. It's not necessary that everyone who looks very smart might not have some issues. You never know anybody else's journey, what are they going through? And while going through, empathize with people. And I think this is where, for me, in the corporate wellness program, all these parts and all these dimensions play a role where I as an employee and where corporate as and corporate can look together to have a great association. You're on mute, sir.
What a great explanation on self-care. Each and every, alphabet was explained with great clarity. However, we also know that it is easy to explain this, but when we actually go and implement, and as you said, everybody is going through their problems, everybody is going through their troubles. They may be looking spick and span smart, but internally they may be a mental wreck. So, how do you reach out to somebody? And as you say, you have reach out right behind you where you are sitting. How do you reach out to such a person? How do you come to know that they are going through some difficulty? And then how do you go and help them?
So, first thing is, I do not go and reach out to an individual. I have my place, I have my setup where people come and reach out to me. And especially in the therapies, and while even with counseling, it is very clearly mentioned help people when they are ready, not when you feel that they are ready. So, one, it is respecting their space, respecting their privacy. And as I respect their privacy and their space, they definitely reach out to me. And while they reach out to me, maybe for anxiety,
Yeah.
maybe for a small thing, like in one of the organization, I think next week will be my 22nd session on sleep.
Hmm.
Sleep, where people just do not feel sleep is nothing. It is so easy to sleep.
Yeah.
In fact, post COVID, people are finding it so difficult to sleep and they are not
Hmm.
able to sleep.
Yeah.
Right? So people, while they approach it to me, I tailor make it as per the requirement of the client, as
Hmm.
per the requirement of their habits.
Yeah.
And there I take in charge of A, can we work with the mindset? Can
Hmm.
we work on the habits? And with the habits, it recurrently comes with, changing in patterns.
Hmm.
And while the change in patterns are seen, we are able to see that there is the changes which is coming in space.
Hmm. So, we also know this, that a lot of corporates have some sort of a bucket list where they will say, we have to organize this retreat, we have to organize this talk, we have to bring in this expert. And a lot of people will, just because there is a tick box which has to be ticked, will go and attend that meeting or be a part of that function. How how do you really know that this corporate is interested, or these people need your help, and how you can help them further? Or sometimes you understand this is just a 45-minute talk which I have to take, let me do my job and then go away. How does that work?
Absolutely. So there have been organizations who have just had a tick mark, and while just having a tick mark, it was very clear to tell me that, doctor, you don't decide, we will decide. So while I come to know that the organization is deciding what I
Right.
need to give, I
Right.
clearly understand that this is just going to be a 45-minute pravachan, which can
Hmm.
be ended up, which
Yeah.
I very upfront now tell them ki instead
Yes.
of calling me and instead of wasting my 1 hour and
Hmm.
engaging your 1 hour, the thing
Hmm.
is you can put any YouTube, because
Yeah.
lot of things are available on YouTube and people are all becoming expert, right? But some organizations who are recurrently
Yeah.
doing this for the employee wellness, and
Hmm.
they are really interested in participating in and engaging in their
Yeah.
welfare, they
Yes.
keep it as a continuous education process.
Hmm.
And with the continuous education process, I'm very happy that at least 7 to 8 organizations I'm associated, where we regularly have the EAPs, that is
Wonderful.
Employee Assistance Program. And with Employee Assistance Program, we also have the assessments for them. With
Hmm.
the assessments, how are they progressing? Where is the help needed? Is it something in their personal space which is affecting the professional space?
Hmm.
Because usually it is the personal space which affects the professional space. So
Yes.
if there is something happening in my personal space and I do not have people to talk to, I do not
Yeah.
have people to express, I
Yes.
probably bring everything in my professional space. My
Yes.
sleep is getting disturbed. People will come and ask me, bhai, why are you not eating food? Why are you
Hmm.
not eating food? Because everything is disturbing. My
Yeah.
sleep gets disturbed, my food cycle gets disturbed, my
Hmm.
physical disability means I feel so weak, lethargic in my,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
because of this, my decision making capacity decreases, my
Yes.
focus towards work decreases, and
Yes.
people are like, they really want to help you.
Yes.
So there are corporates who are actually
Yeah.
engaging in wellness programs, and
Yes.
engaging to that extent कि not
Hmm.
only you, in fact, we will also take care of your family members.
Wonderful. Wonderful. We also now know that, with the current generation, as we refer to them as Gen Zs, these are people who are, job hoppers and company hoppers, and they will say, in the last 3 years, I have worked in 6 companies or 8 companies. I started with a 50K month, and then I've jumped to 1 lakh, and now I'm getting 2 lakh. But contrast this with people maybe one, even 2 generations ago. In those days, when you started a job, you remained in that job for the next 30, 40 years, and then you finally retired from there. Thought processes have changed. The way people work now has changed. There is work from home, there is hybrid working. A lot of things have changed. So, how have you observed this change, and where do you find are the maximum problems? You said, employees are disgruntled, their health is not good, their emotions are not proper, they are not sleeping well, they are not eating well. If I'm correct, and I'm assuming this, clearly the previous generation was a little more kind, was a little more happy. Is it actually like that, or is it different?
So, sir, I was not able to hear your question properly. Can you just repeat
Okay,
it?
I'll repeat. I will repeat. I'm saying, one, even 2 generations ago, when you started your job in a company or corporate in a bank, you saw to it that stayed there for 30, 40 years till you retired. Now Gen Z is in the habit of job hopping and changing companies as soon as they get a higher salary or a better job. Job satisfactions level were very, very good in that previous generation. Now nobody is happy. They are just thinking about the next job, the next increment. And as you correctly said, most of these people are either not having proper sleep, or not having proper food, are not having well regulated emotions. What are you seeing? Is this actually the truth, and how do we help resolve this?
So very, very, I think this is a very pertinent question which has been asked for balancing the two generations, right?
Yes.
As you enter the organization, we require the Gen Zs also, and we require the experienced people also.
Yeah.
And while this is coming a bit of disbalance, the disbalance is because everyone feels that I am right. The Gen Z feel that we are right, and
Yeah.
people who are already working in the organization, they feel that they are right. Right? So
Hmm.
one very important thing is the people, right? I would like to say everyone together, we all want to be involved.
Yeah.
We do not want to be informed. And apparently, the whole thing is starting from my house. The
Hmm.
parents, while they come, the father will tell, Saturday, I am going out. Please don't prepare lunch for me.
Ah.
The mother comes, Sunday, I am not there home. Please manage your stuff. And while this is being seen by my child at home,
Hmm. Hmm.
fortunately or unfortunately, that comes into the system that mom, dad, I am not there at home at all. Please don't cook
Hmm.
anything for me.
Yeah.
So it is just coming as information. Okay.
Hmm.
It is not coming as involvement. And the
Yeah.
same practice is what happens in the organization. Whether it
Yes.
is a team leader, whether it is a general manager, whether it is an HR, the policy is being laid,
Hmm.
but there is no explanation who made this policy,
Hmm.
who were the people there while making this policy, how is this policy going to help us out, or is
Hmm.
there going to be any drawbacks about the policy. So it has
Yeah.
just been informed. And
Yeah.
while this comes as an information, the first thing what I feel is I am nowhere in the organization as accountable.
Hmm.
And people want that as soon as you enter the organization, you have to have integrity, you need to have accountability. But how
Yeah.
am I being involved?
Yeah.
People feel to be involved in the family. Like
Yes.
today, if we are doing 207th episode of Bloom, the
Hmm.
207th episode of Bloom, to see Harish sir coming regularly, to see
Hmm.
Brenda coming regularly, to
Hmm.
see Meera coming regularly, or for that matter, Ram sir coming regularly, because they have been felt that they are family Bloom.
Yeah.
They are our extended family. So people need to be heard, people need to be seen. And
Hmm.
while people are need to be heard and seen,
Yeah.
because of this, the Gen Z feels that
Yeah.
a nobody is there to listen to us.
Yes.
And probably when somebody listens to us, there are people judging us, including our family members.
Yeah.
The family members will first have an example. See, your cousin
Yes.
is doing so good, and I am
Yeah.
giving you everything, but you can't do this.
Yeah.
Your cousin is not being able to do this, and I gave you everything. I gave you so many tuitions, but still you couldn't clear your exam.
Yeah.
So the journey for damage does
Yeah.
not starts outside, it
Yes.
starts from the family members. And
Yeah.
apparently that becomes my habit. And then why I come to the corporate, I want validation from everyone. And if Deepak sir is not validating me, if Payal madam is not validating me, if
Hmm.
Brenda madam is not validating me, I am doing something wrong. I will switch my job to somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
So I think the damage is the root cause, and that is where people are not able to retain people.
Yeah.
People are not able to work with each other's strength. We
Hmm.
always like to bring in the weakness.
Yes.
This is not right. This is not doing properly. You are not doing so. Everyone does not want to be in that spotlight of blame.
Yes.
We all want, like just put up a video day before yesterday, we all want that 4A. We want acceptance, we want appreciations, we want acknowledgement. And as I am being adaptable, I want the organization also to understand that little bit adaptability is good,
Mm.
you know. So we want that as humans.
I just want to share something which I have observed, and
Yeah,
I'm
sir.
sure you may have also observed. You go to most five-star hotels, and you will find, young girls, pretty looking girls, young boys who are there serving you, who are ready to help you. But go to Taj, and you will find really, really old people. And when I say old, these are people who have been with the organization, for 20, 30 plus years, gray haired. Even when they are serving you food at the restaurant, you will normally want somebody, who's really young to come and take your order. But these people are really, really old. And the management consciously has not taken a decision to send out gray haired people in some back office where they are not visible. If they are doing a good job, they are doing a good job, and they continue doing that. There is a culture, there is at that oneness, there is that belonging which is there from the corporate, from the employer side, and from the employee. Corporate wellness is being talked. अरे आपका तो setup इतना अच्छा है, you've got such a setup going, do you really need to me to be helping you, or talking about wellness, or how does that work?
So, as you have brought in a very beautiful question on Tata, let me tell you that right now I am working with them. And it has really been, I think, I mean, very lucky that we have been past 29th of July. We have started this and we are working with TCOC, that is Tata Code of Conduct, right? And we are working at multiple locations of theirs. And the best thing is, while this was to me given, the first thing was the entire Harvard research, which was based on the attack which had happened at Taj.
Yes.
And while this was happened, the entire Harvard, there was complete research which was put in that none of the Taj employees left the premises.
Hmm.
They were the one who took care of every guest, including getting injured themselves,
Hmm.
right? And now, while they see the Gen Z coming in, they
Hmm.
are very easily also transmuting the entire TCOC to the Generation Alpha. And
Hmm.
while they are transmuting this to Generation Alpha, they are only asking two things from them. One is integrity, and
Yes.
integrity not only for the organization, but integrity towards your own self. That
Hmm.
why am I here and what am I supposed to do?
Yes.
So bringing in the vision of Jamshedji Tata, while
Hmm.
in 1847, when he started the cotton mill, and he saw that somehow people are not coming to work.
Hmm.
And while he saw this, that while people were not coming to work, he did two things. He did one thing is he sat with everyone and he asked them, Ki, what is that which is making you not come for the for the work?
Hmm.
Second thing was while talking, he was only in the discussion mode, not in the debate mode or not in the
Hmm.
anger mode.
Yes.
Immediately from the next month, he did one very nice thing. He incorporated family days. And
Hmm.
since 1847, every department of Tata, every workplace of Tata, including Tata Motors, Ghar Mein Namak, Ghar Mein Aata, everything of Tata is having family days, is having all kind of days, is having family insurances.
Yeah.
1847, the company did not had money, but they
Hmm.
themselves invested and brought in the insurance for every house. And they saw
Hmm.
that the entire circle of working had completely
Hmm.
changed.
Yeah.
Completely the culture changed. And
Yes.
there they brought in the first culture of their TCOC was belongingness.
Yeah.
The belongingness had been brought. After belongingness, they brought in integrity. Third thing was trust. The fourth thing is now, which they have added, is whistleblower policy.
Hmm.
So entire 2015, while they revived the entire code of conduct, they have brought in these amazing things, and they always see that people who are senior will pass on their knowledge without
Hmm.
feeling that somebody is intruding or you have to feel scared.
Yes.
So people need to be heard, and as I mentioned, that belongingness is important.
Yeah. You spoke about attrition and what is happening with most companies nowadays. They are unable to hold on to their employees, to their loyalty. And once you hear stories like this, you clearly, understand where the loyalty of these people is coming from and why they would like to be associated with that same company, that same organization, probably for their lives. And as you said, all that knowledge is being passed on to the next generation, to the next set of people who are coming in will be representing this company and talking about that company. Let me bring in Abhijit. Abhijit, can you hear me? You could put your camera on and then go ahead and ask Dr. Neeta some question. Abhijit, are you around?
Yeah, yes, bolo.
Yes, Aye, welcome. Abhijit is my
Welcome, welcome. No, you
co-host
continue. You are
today,
in a
and
flow. I'll ask. You are in a flow. You
yes, yeah,
continue.
no, please go ahead, please go.
No, you continue. You are in a flow. You go ahead.
Yeah, if I'm in flow, probably we will keep on continuing till 1:30 and others will not get the chance, but we will see to it that everybody gets that chance.
Ask appropriately.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how different or difficult is it for small and medium organizations to do this planning so that their employees stick with them, they learn, they get that stickiness compared to a large organization, say like Tata's, they have big pockets, deep pockets, big companies, they can afford to spend money on this. How then does this work for smaller companies or medium enterprises?
So one thing is there that every organization, whether it is 10 people, whether it is 30 people, or now whether it is 3,000 people, have
Hmm.
started investing in wellness.
Hmm.
They have started investing in wellness. If it is, say, a company or an organization, for just 10 of them, they bring in the important aspects which is related to their work.
Yeah.
And in case if it is work related, which is coming as a pressure or which is coming as a force which is spoiling their physical health
Yeah.
or their social health, then they
Yes.
work towards only one area, that is
Okay.
the professional wellness.
Hmm.
So they do not bring the bigger umbrella. They do not bring all the dimensions of wellness, that is
Yes.
physical, professional, spiritual, social, financial.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
bring in all these seven dimensions, but they bring in
Hmm.
only one dimension, just the professional dimension. And yet
Yes.
they do not talk about work-life balance. In
Hmm.
fact, they talk about how can be work-life be integrated.
Hmm.
So they bring in the integration of your work and your personal life,
Yeah.
still seeing that your performance is not getting affected.
Yes. So, I mean, I would like to take you upon what you just now said, work life balance and work life integration. We all nowadays know that, a lot of work post COVID first went online and it is now hybrid. But the complaint you get to hear from people is when you are having remote work or you are having hybrid work, you are supposed to be working almost 24 hours a day. It's not that 9 to 5 that you've left office at 5 o'clock and now you have the balance day to your own. You'll probably get an email at 11 o'clock in the night or 2 o'clock in the morning because it is hybrid mode, it is remote work, and your client in the US is happening afternoon at that time. You need to be ready. Clearly, this affects, the mental, the emotional state of that person. How do you deal and help out these sort of people?
So first thing is very important is the power of choice. Power of choice, because like today, if the organization has got hybrid, anything which I am doing today is being agreed by me, so I am doing it. However, if I dislike it, maybe I will walk out.
Hmm.
But if I am not walking out of the organization, so definitely I also need the job. And while I need the job, I need to be mindful of where I'm cribbing and to whom am I cribbing.
Yes.
And as everyone is now working globally,
Yeah.
we have problem in the same way other people over there also have a problem in also having a dialogue with Indians, with the people
Yes.
around. So
Yeah.
here I think is having good healthy boundaries.
Yes.
And while having healthy boundaries, you need not be rude, you can be assertive in your communication. And
Yes.
while being assertive and also being mindful of words, that ki right now maybe it is 11 p.m. for me, And
Yeah.
post 11 p.m. in India, I would not like to reciprocate or respond, but
Yeah.
certainly early morning of India, Indian Standard Time,
Yes.
9 a.m., you might receive this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
being mindful of words, because people tell three very important things which I bring is
Mm.
your vichar, your thoughts, your vani, your words, and
Mm.
third is your vyavhar, your actions.
Mm.
If your three things are in alignment, everything becomes very easy.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So these things have to be an impactful to create that impact on your organizations or to the
Mm.
people with whom you work.
Yes. Yes. So clearly, this question has touched a nerve of a lot of people, and we have some comments on the chat where Meera says work life balance is a key thing in maintaining mental health and wellness. And MK Sansgiri says policy decisions about wellness are taken by the top managements. Hence, how does it match with the younger generation since their expectations may be different? How do you address this?
So thank you for putting this question. First of all, I have where I have been associated for EAPs and for the wellness. It has always been the top management who decides this. And while talking about the generation who is coming now, the generation is very open in also taking a no, while
Yeah.
they have been said very clearly that the 3 months is going to be your probation period, and in
Yeah.
that 3 months you won't be entitled for A, B, and C, which they very easily take it no, and for them
Yeah.
it doesn't matter because they know that they are here probably only for 3 months.
Yes.
Probably they might walk out of the organization after 3 months. So
Yes.
for them, it doesn't matter whether they fit in into the bar of wellness or no.
Yeah.
But definitely the top management always decides, and also it also decides for the generation whom they want to give maybe
Yes.
20% or even
Yeah.
50%. That has been
Yeah.
decided only by the top management. Nobody else
Yes.
can take charge over there,
Wonderful.
including the
Wonderful.
HRs for that matter.
Yes. Yeah. So what I will do is, Meera has joined us from England. It is 8 o'clock in the early morning over
Morning.
there, and she's been there with us right from the show. Meera, please unmute yourself and say a few things. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Hi,
Very, very good
beautiful
Morning.
morning,
Bloom.
Meeta.
I've missed you.
Yes.
And I did my best to join today,
Thank
and
you
I am
so much.
late. I
Thank
just
you.
left a comment. I couldn't join you on time because actually I had a friend who stayed with me overnight. And she was traveling yesterday 2 hours just to meet with me. And she couldn't even stay today longer because she has job at 11.
Mm.
So she woke up early and we said to each other, thank you, goodbye, this kind of stuff. And she wasn't happy that she has to work on a Sunday. But she
Mm.
said in her company, sometimes this is a must. She works in sales. But there is a bank holiday weekend in England. And look, she was working yesterday. She's working today. Tomorrow is Monday. It means she will only be having one day off. And what is the quality of life, when you can't can't actually enjoy your life
Yeah.
because you are so much tangled into the like a schemes of the company, the policies, the regulations, the sometimes the mood of manager, if they will fancy to give you day
Yes.
off or not. So this is a life story, and it's
Yes.
actually aligned with the topic. And I am so grateful that you invited me, dear Payal, dear Dr. Neeta, and wonderful Deepak to actually listen to this morning discussion. I think it's extremely valuable. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Meera.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Meera,
And
for sharing.
let me show you my garden, so I will cheer you up a little bit. Okay.
Wow. Oh,
Yes,
please.
yes.
Or maybe not today because I don't want to. I don't want what to press on my phone because I am listening to you
The
from my
camera
phone.
icon. The
Oh,
camera. The
okay,
camera.
guys. All right.
Yes.
I don't know. Can
And
you
now
see
you can
something or
turn
not?
around.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
You
Yes.
just
Okay.
flip the camera, and then we will
Yeah.
be able to see the.
Yes.
So were you able to see or not?
No,
No,
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no, no. This became the background of the wallpaper. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, sorry for this. Sorry.
yeah.
So I messed up. Sorry. I am more confident on my computer than
No
on the
problem.
mobile
We'll do
phone.
that next time when you join in.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Because I am in the garden and just listening to your talk. It's
Enjoy,
lovely.
enjoy the sunlight and the fresh air.
Yeah.
Really. Let me bring in Abhijit. Abhijit, my co-host and co-founder of Bloom. Go ahead and ask your question to Dr. Neeta.
Ask Deepak's question. How do you view wellness as an investment, and how would you make it compound?
So I think that would be compounding part is Deepak sir's, which I would not like to tell, but I would like to tell compounding wellness. Okay,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
compounding wellness is very important. I know that first of all of us talks about proximity, right? So while you talk about proximity, definitely with proximity, you know that you are compounding your thought process. So at least the compounding part on thought process is getting cleared. And while this is getting cleared, I know that I have somebody's back. I know that I have a back which is so supportive, which might not question immediately my who and my why, but will support me with all my decisions. So I can compound on those areas. The second compounding comes in the space. If my health is good, if my physical health is good, my world around is good. If my finances are good, I can spend wisely. Or if I am not able to spend, I can ask Deepak, ki, can you be my service person to spend this for me? So here is where we can compound the wellness. The third wellness comes as we talk about proximity, our mental health, our physical health, our financial health. If I know my proximity is good, they will, however, make my social proximity also amazing. There'll be no social anxiety for me to speak to new people. There'll be no social anxiety for me to come in a space and share and talk about ki what are the effects of wellness. And again, while I'm compounding my all these spaces, my physical space, my professional space, my proximity, my emotional spaces are getting balanced. However, something would be happening at my personal space. I know my go-to person is Abhijit. I know my go-to person is Premraj. I know my go-to person is Payal. I can go and share, and then I can professionally work easily without any judgments which will be passed on me. And while all these things are taken care with compounding effect, my spiritual quotient automatically increases. And while this increases, you will see that my spiritual well being has increased, and there also I'm seeing a compounding effect. So ultimately, everything is investment, and I think this is a very golden investment.
So the other thing is, in many organizations, especially when Deepak said bigger organizations, I've seen people are just taking wellness as a tick box. So yes, it's something to be done. It's everything everybody's speaking about. If we do something, so it's just organizing some retreats, some every day have an outbound, or some celebration of monthly birthdays, or and that's wellness. And then you have some doctors coming in to give some lectures. You have some World Yoga Day. You have those yoga camps. It's just in what we call the spirit of wellness, and how do you actually inculcate and do the spirit. So what are your views on that?
So, one thing which I had also mentioned about this, I think have already answered this. People who take this as tick box, first A is I don't work with those people. And again, wellness is nothing to do with one day of birthday, one day of outbound. The entire wellness is how is my workplace? Is my workplace creating those side effects which is leading to anxiety, which is leading to depression, which is leading to sleeplessness, or is not allowing the person to be who he or she is? Is my HR talking to me so rudely that I do not know even how to now comprehend and bring in my statements? Right? So wellness is very important aspect. Wellness is not a birthday celebration. Wellness has nothing to do with
No,
outbound.
no, Neeta, I got
Yes,
that. I've
but
been
people,
listening to you.
yeah,
I've
go ahead,
got
go
that.
ahead.
My question is a bit different. My question is not what wellness is. A lot of organizations are treating this as wellness
Exactly,
and
exactly. That is
basically
where,
passing those. So how do we actually get these organizations? Whom should we actually, is this, if the CEO is not interested? I'm talking of what should be the solution. We
so
know what really
exactly,
wellness is,
exactly.
but how do we convince them? So you're saying I don't work with them, it's fine. So the point is, but I would wish that people like you work with such organizations. Such organizations should mend their ways or know what is the right thing. So how do we uh, convince those organizations that this is really needed?
Exactly. So here is where I'm just bringing in that point. While I do not work, but I also do something which is on awareness. And I have my team here also. Purnima is also part of the team here. She has been an amazing yoga teacher, yoga instructor who has gone ahead and has created a curriculum in the university for wellness now.
Oh,
And while Purnima has been doing this, it has been a very drastic change for us, because here in where we are now breaking the culture of wellness is not a happy birthday. Wellness is not just one day, laughter day, friendship day, ribbit day, teddy bear day. Wellness has to be part of you every day. Then only you can prevent any kind of illness. So the journey for us starts from illness to wellness. How can you take care of the illness and prevent that illness before even coming in? So we have been making things which is very customized. We have been talking to so many teachers. We have been bringing into the universities where people have been telling, that the students are making us mad. It is not the money which is making us mad. It is not the work, but
fine.
the students are now making us mad. So we are customizing it as per the
So,
requirement and bringing in the awareness that
so just
these will help you at least look after the iteration
so
part.
just fine, fine. So I got that, Dave. So I was coming from the view that in India, a lot of these things need regulation and force to make it mandatory. So while you have a CSR which is mandated by now the MCA, 2% of your profits if you are over a certain threshold, the MSMEs have to be paid within a particular date. You have to have an ESG committee which looks after environment, social governance. You need to have n number of women directors on board for financial inclusion and diversity. You need
Yes,
to have
yes.
all those posh committees. So what do you think, should wellness, I feel wellness should be made mandatory as a part of some, as you said, a curriculum or somewhere as a mandatory responsibility of the organization. This is what is some evolved organizations are doing to be in I would say adherence to the spirit, but technically I still feel a lot is to be done,
Whole
and
lot.
that's where I feel you need to have some mandatory deterrent efforts to actually make it, because people just don't care. They're concerned about targets, their results. If you're not performing,
Out.
if you are not mentally, you are out. So I feel while this is the need of the hour and what you're doing, so I'm not into that. I'm into the other part where people, where yes, we may be spreading awareness, some of them, but the journey is very slow. I think they're moving at
It
a
is, it is
tortoise's
very
pace.
slow.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, certainly. I think after the NEP, while the NEP was out, the schools have started something which is called as SEL, that is social emotional learning. And while the NEP was out, and while our government, the Narendra Modi government, our Prime Minister ji, while he brought in ki yoga se hi hoga, that is time onwards that wellness became a part, a small part, which I said is just 15%, while we are an people of 72 billion and India standing at 15% on wellness. There is a big way to go, a big, big way to go, a big way to go, Abhijit.
Yes. So, Deepak, back to you. I think I think there are a lot of acronyms and a lot of, I think I love that Vyani, Vyawar, and the 3 V's, the 4 A's. Huh?
Yes.
I like that.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we have with us Dr. Alka, Dr. Alka, Old Faithful, who she always joins in a little bit late. And she's also involved in emotional, mental wellness, and she does a lot of yoga and a lot of these things, a practicing doctor. So just let's hear her views. 2 minutes to you, Dr. Alka, on what you've
Yeah,
heard in the
so
last few
I'm
minutes.
returning. Actually, I'm in the car. I'm returning from Kumbakonam in South India in Tamil Nadu, and I spoke on wellness actually.
Wonderful.
So I was talking to Ram Prasad today morning, and he said, "What will they understand about what you're talking?" I said, "Yes, they understood everything." And actually, we have to just connect with the audience. It's about filter coffee. It is about curd rice. It is about rasam rice. It is about your South Indian music. It's about the Kaveri River. It's about the Hasi Wadiyan. So it's a lot of stuff, how we can customize our speech to the audience that we are speaking to. So I had a wonderful time talking to them, and I told them one thing, that the people in Kumbakonam are having much higher happiness quotient than the people in Mumbai. And the reason is because they eat well, they enjoy their food, they get their happiness from their food, which we are not doing in Mumbai. So I tell you, wellness is it's a good subject, and it contains everything. And they have their rivers, and they have their temples, which is giving them so much of divinity and happiness to them. So everything has to be clubbed together and seen. So thank you for that, Deepak. And I did not hear Neeta. Neeta is always a great one at corporate wellness. So I will just go back and check the video later. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Elka, for sharing that. Let us bring in Dr. Let us bring in abundant Harish Mehta ji. He talks about mindset a lot, and no wellness or anything can happen without that shift in the mind and how you think and how you can change that. So 2 minutes to you, Harish ji. Tell us a little bit about how changing the mindset can help in wellness.
I want to share with you people, when I ask business leaders, business owners, I talk about the 5 disciplines. Is your business sustainable? Is your business predictable? Is your business stable? Is your business consistent? And does your business have an emotional connect? So the point here is, you may have 10 people, 100 people, or thousands of people. If there is no emotional connect, it doesn't matter who they are, what they do, and why should people care. So all the words that Neeta chose to speak and share today, they're all good. But if leaders don't care, people don't care. And if people don't care to create a culture in the organization, why should we talk about stories of J.R.D. Tata? Why should we talk about what he created as a culture is still being followed after 100 odd years? So the point here is, the leaders who are young, are they focused on creating a culture of happiness, wellness, on a mission where there is a connect?
Yes.
And without the connect, you can talk loads on productivity, profitability, and perfection.
Yes.
But if the connect is missing, they don't carry anything home, except for waiting for the first of every month to wait for the check. So that's my say. Create an environment of emotional connect. And belongingness. When you belong to an organization, you speak. And I've been looking at people who wear uniforms, When you wear a uniform, you're creating a brand. And the moment you open your mouth, is the brand speaking?
Yes.
And that's value which comes out. So if value has been imbibed in you as a culture,
Yes.
it'll go a long way. And we
Wonderful.
have seen how Maruti, when they joined with Suzuki,
Yeah.
they used to have their daily rituals.
Yes.
So it's all about carrying those rituals which make the people belong.
Hmm.
And all these new generation, whatever you may say, why do we agree to what they do?
Hmm.
The leadership needs to understand if they have to create an organization which will last for 200 years, they have to create a culture which
Yes.
works every single day,
Yes.
every morning of the day.
Yes.
It's not a
Indeed.
Lala company.
Yes.
That's what my say is. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Clearly, the times of Lala companies are gone. If they are still around, they won't be around for very, very long. Ram Prasad ji is here. Ram Prasad ji, can you hear us? Yes, he's there.
Yes, sir.
Now you are, a scientist with the government of India, and you worked with them for so many years, and then you had those Antarctic expeditions, which involves being in temperatures which are really, really difficult to manage. How did the government, how did your leaders, how did the organization help keep you grounded, help keep your emotions in check? Of course, the health also mattered. Just share with us in the next 2 or 3 minutes how was that experience?
Sir, in Government of India, the health service is there, CGHS. They take care of the health, and the rest depends upon the person itself. That how you use those facilities.
Yes.
Because I have seen the people, they have not used them for 20, 30 years. Only they use after retirement or near the retirement.
Yes.
So there are certain facilities which you can use.
Yes.
But it is on the people. If you are willing, only then you can use.
Yes.
Only then those measures will come to help
Yes.
you.
Yes. And my next question to you is, when you are in an expedition like Antarctica, you are, down below the ice, and there is, of course, the temperature is maintained, but you are far away from your family for, months together. You are just in and around with that staff, your colleagues. How do you keep your emotional, this mind together just to see to it that everything goes well?
Sir, this is start every day in the morning. In the morning, around 9 o'clock, we have a meeting where everybody comes for a meeting. It may be for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then first we see that whether everybody has come. If somebody has not come, then let us investigate why he has not come. Then we discuss how yesterday it was the day before, how they performed.
Yeah.
Then what they are going to do today. And then if they have any problem, then how it can be solved.
Yeah.
And then in evening, we have the free time for everybody.
Yeah.
You talk, you play the indoor games, you see you read the books. So this way we connect the people and keep them engaged.
Yes.
Unless the people are engaged there,
Yes.
they will go to the depression.
Yes.
So this is the way we work there.
Engagement is the key, as you said. Again,
Yes.
When Dr. Neeta was explaining to us about 1867, when Jamshedji Tata wanted to find out why the people are not coming to work, and at this extreme end where you are in Antarctica, away from family, away from civilization, there is nothing but ice to see if you come out. And then how you keep people together. One, they keep their mental balance, their physical strength, and be in and around with the company, with the people you are with, so that you are emotionally well connected and engaged, so that those thoughts
Yes.
do come. On Friendship Day, we have had a 1 hour plus discussion about corporate wellness, about emotions, about empathy, about spirituality, about friendship. What a wonderful episode this has been on the 207th episode of the Sunday Bloom Talk Show. And before we close, let's bring in our smiling CEO, Payal Irani, into the meeting. Payal, say a few words.
Thank you, Deepak sir. Very happy Friendship Day to all of you. What an auspicious occasion. And our very own Dr. Neeta, who have graced 207th Bloom platform. Thank you so much. It was truly an enriching talk. And thank you, dear audiences. Deepak sir, without your song, this will be incomplete.
I'm wondering मैं क्या गाना गाऊं. I mean, something I sang 2 or 3 weeks, yes, again, it's all about living life and being in the moment, as it says, हंसते हंसते कट जाए रस्ते, जिंदगी यूं ही चलती रहे, खुशी मिले या गम बदलेंगे ना हम, दुनिया चाहे बदलती रहे, हम नहीं बदलेंगे, we will not change. And next Sunday at 12:30 we will be back with the 208th episode of the Sunday Bloom Talk Show. Please join us then. God bless us all. See you. Bye bye.
Thank you. God bless you all. Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you, Deepak sir. Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you, Payal. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining in. Thank you, Harish sir. Thank you, Meera. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, everybody. God bless us all.
Everybody
See
have
you.
a nice day.
Yes.
Thank you. Wishing you all a very happy Friendship Day.